Hello traders, today I want to show you a new system that I've developed and that I've been trading with success in later part of 2025. It's called TradersAlly Volumetric OrderFlow trading system. You can find it on our website on this product. If you need to have full documentation, you could click on this link. It will take you to this page where it will explain you add-on part of this, indicator part of it. You can also get a free trial. It's a 14-day fully functional free trial. Please note it requires Ninjatrader OrderFlow package or that lifetime platform access, or you could pay monthly for it, but that's just a note about it. So when you download free trial or when you purchase it, you will get an add-on, couple indicators, and you will get template, audio folder. And so uh, when you download it, you will need to open. It only works with volumetric chart type. So what you do, you go to data series, you select volumetric type. Don't load too much data because it uses lots of calculations. For my setups, I use 2000 ticks, but you could use minute or any other time frame. I mean bar types, but I find it pretty good explanation of market uh, moves on 2000 ticks. You also want to keep this shows profile. That's what I just decided to do. Show bar statistics, and I chose this three. I chose this text and bar just for demonstration purposes. And in my indicators, I already loaded TradersAlly OrderFlow suit indicator. This shows audio. This shows some settings here. Alerts, setup types, conversions is one of the setup types. Cross setup, some delta filters, extreme orders, features. Like I've selected this that I want to show on chart. The ones that are not selected I don't want to see. Have some general parameters. We have some POC, point of control, value areas. We have trend magic. We have some visuals. Everything is selected in this 2000 volumetric PM template. It's also will be available in a package, so you could just import it and have it just like me here. So let me just close this one, we don't need it. On my left chart, I just have a 15-minute regular chart with some order flow. I've only selected order flow volume profile just on a session. Okay, and to get to the add-on, you go to new, TradersAlly monitor. You hit select which bar. Now, since we're on playback, we're only able to see playback basically, and then we need to attach to a chart. It says connected, but you want to make sure when you will stop seeing values changing here, it means your add-on is not connected. So you'll need to, like, let's say I'm gonna say I'm gonna change something. It's gonna be 11 points. Okay, I changed something in the indicator, and sometimes it loses connection, or you may do something here and you will stop seeing values getting updated. So it means you'll need to close it and reopen the monitor, because uh, it's sensitive right now. When there is a change in the platform, the connection between the indicator and add-on gets disrupted and you need to restart it. So the purpose of this video is to kind of show how overall it works. So all these signals that we've selected on in the indicator, it doesn't mean you need to take all of them and each and every time. But when you study those setups, you will notice the reasoning behind it. And but still, as a trader, you want to oversee the market conditions for you to decide to enter or not to enter. But for this video, I just want to have an overview of the system, how it functions overall. So we've covered kind of a basic setup, so to say. Now let's observe this add-on. So as you see, we have a previous day point of control. Let's say this value area high was 25463, and it's plotted as here. This is the level, but it's also today's volume area high, which is, see, they kind of overlap. Then we have a point of control for previous day, point of control for today's date. We have price, we have trend magic, stochastics, and ATR levels here. We have distance for 43 points from trend magic indicator. Now I want to briefly um, mention this. The reason for trend magic indicator is to find um, kind of a middle ground and overall trend. So the idea, let's say for the large order, we want to like see this bar, see this green circle. It's a unconditional large order, and large order is also explained in documentation, but basically it shows as these are minor orders, but these are, let's see, hold on. So these are minor orders, unconditional minor orders, and we have unconditional large orders. And we also specify the threshold that the large order cannot be less than 50 volumes. Let's say if um, we're going to look at it. Let's see, our large orders is, see the 64 green, yellow color. It's also 55 here. So because we've specified in the indicator that our large orders are supposed to be no less than 50. Minimum floor threshold is 50 right here. And it calculates dynamically in this template. So there is a, you could, let me go back here. Where we had that 50% threshold. Yeah, we put it 50% threshold, but we also use dynamic threshold. So it takes 34 bars and it calculates dynamically what is the threshold, what is large threshold for that bar. If you want to use dynamic, you just deselect it and you will see only uh, threshold, that is minimum threshold right here. I mean, you would actually, that would be only for that. So let's just enable everything so I could see here, and let's just run it for a little bit. Just wanted to show you briefly how it works. Okay, so let me see. Yeah, we had our levels. One of these levels were crossed, and when price get close, it changes to this yellow marks, so you can pay attention to it. Okay, we can minimize the audio alerts there, but here we have a delta short signal, and as you notice, once I took a trade, all other buttons disarmed. So this trade was a solid trade, it was within our risk. So we enable setups here, but it still has to pass these conditions. So for delta, bar strength still had to be 50%, and it was a very solid bar, like maybe 95%. Then our risk passed. We had our ATR to 1.3, which tells you, let's say, so it tells you 41 points is allowed with this ATR section, and if you see 463, 424, so that was like less than 40 points, so it was allowed. That's where it took the trade. This also passed, and delta also passed. Delta has to be over 100, and this we have over 100, so it's also passed. So that's why it took the trade. Now, if you don't want to use ATR type risk, you just deselect this, and you will use only that, like let's say 35. But I just chose to have it dynamically, and you notice that we have, when I marked delta, right, delta, I didn't specify anything here, right, so that was deselected. And when it's deselected, it's in basically it's in risk, it uses risk reward. Let's say where, yeah, that's our risk reward right here. So it's 1-to-1, as you see, right? We didn't select runner, have selected it here. We could have managed it here. We could select a TP for runner. We could we didn't select any break even or break even then trail for runner. Our stop loss buffer was 8 ticks. Now, if you want to have the system dynamically calculate um, your orders, like if you're trading M and Q, you would use this dynamically, and you would select your max loss, and it'll calculate evenly between your base and runner. But in this case we didn't do that. So let's just finish with this trade. Okay. So this was lost. So let's select everything, and this time we're going to select manual. Okay. Now manual tells that RTP and stop loss will be based on manual. Now, if you want to do that, you can do that, but let's just, for demonstration purposes, let me increase the our stop loss. I mean the risk, so we wouldn't miss on a trade. I'm just showing you how. Okay, so see there was a delta short, but the stop loss was at 10 points, right? 409, I mean 399 and 409. See, because these buttons show that. Okay, now let's change it to A, and A means it's automatic. It's the way what it's doing. It uses take profit that you set here, but stop loss will be used on bar high or low. So it's very good for scalping, like decide. Let me just show it to you, so you will see it. So it would have been great on this trade um, because let's say let's say I'm not gonna use these buttons, automated buttons. I'm gonna manually enter in short. So in this case, you would, if you waited until you got a signal, waited until retracement, with this A enabled, it would enter the trade and put stop loss automatically there. But let's just see. Okay, so we had some. Oh, okay, so I didn't actually select anything. That's why I didn't take it. So see, it with this automatic option, it um, it placed 11 points take profit, but stop loss was placed at the bar, at the low of the bar, which worked correctly. Okay, so there are setups that are good for one-to-one, but there's also setups that are good for quick scalps, like 10 points on NQ. And so let's just um, let's say we have this signal, okay? And let me just demonstrate this enter long, enter short, how they work. Right, so if we would wait just for a little bit of retracement, we're gonna wait a little bit, okay? But then it uh, so what happened here? Oh, that's right. Let's see. Let's do it again. Let's see. You could enter that anytime. So these are your entry buttons. Okay. And as you see, it now currently, let's demonstrate this for the sake of the demo, and I think it should. Okay, so these buttons also work. They basically they have a simple logic. It's a bounce. It's for long. You need to bar needs to be bullish and it needs to bounce from these levels. As you see, it displays you position and in real time. You can also enter a position and then flatten it. Let's see that. Let's have a better, bigger. Let's say we have here. We can flatten it here, or we can also break even here. Uh, I'll need to fix that bug because it wasn't supposed to enter without proper break even. But let's just wanted to show you break even also works here. See, break even button worked. Just put it to break even. So that worked. We had some settings here, as I mentioned before, and TM current bar. Let's look at this briefly. Um, remember how I had to really enlarge to see what's the uh, what's the or to see the order flow, to see the large orders. Well, so with this system, you don't have to do that. You could just look at this row and it tells you uh, the disbalance, and largest orders were on the sell side or on bid side, and it tells you this 13 is the difference. So it has this little arrow because it's more than 10. It's more than 30, it'll bring 2 arrows, just indicate that there is a larger disbalance. And you could see it right here that on current bar we have the on bid side it's 28 maximum is right here, and on sell side we have 15 maximum right here. So it indicates that a maybe buyer stepping in. It also has this TM trend magic, and it shows shows that this was the level at for this TL. See, it started here. Here is only 1. Like when it's here to here, it would be 1, 2, 3. So this is just a visual representation that hey, if this is TM is like 10, you might get it just flat for you to visually see that. And delta 94 corresponds to this delta, so you can see it all in one place. Sometimes there is a little discrepancy, like millisecond, like it's 99 here, it's 94 there, because the data hasn't caught up yet, because it moves so fast. So that's the essence how you would trade with this system. Thanks for watching.